So in our previous class, we are discussing about the HANA software requirements and hardware requirements. Why we are specially discussing only this hardware and software requirements means, so as you know, HANA is one of the fastest database. It's a column-oriented columnar database. It has only columns and it uses the linear search method to get that much of speed. Okay, so that we need to careful, and also it's a database, right? HANA is the one of the database. So we need to carefully we need to plan in our organization. Whenever someone asks you, we need to carefully scale our HANA database. So why? Because so at a time, once you plan, once you install the HANA database in the next 5 years, 3 to 5 years, so we should not get any issues. So that much of scaling, it kind of sizing we have to perform. This is the sizing. So sizing we have to perform it. So at the same time, so we are discussing about the HANA hardware requirements. Okay, HANA hardware requirements. So for HANA hardware requirements, yesterday we discussed about the operating system. So which operating system we require for HANA? SUSE Linux operating system is required, right? So SUSE Linux operating system is required. So SLES, SUSE Linux Enterprise Server, SUSE Linux Enterprise Server. Okay. So the version, if I talk about the version, the current version so is 04. So before that we have 03. Before that we have 02. Now we know what is SPS and everything, right? So current version in the 15 we have 04 version. Before that we have the 03. Before that we have the 02 and 01. It starts with the 0001. Then after some time, so they have released the 02, 03, 04. So this is the versions we have in the market. So whenever you are installing the HANA database, you need to first of all check the HANA OS version. You have to carefully check it out. OS version, carefully you need to check. HANA OS version, carefully you need to check. So to install it, right? So this is the versions. If tomorrow someone asks you what is your operating system version means, you need to choose this version. You need to choose either any one of the version you have to inform, right? This is the one. So that is the OS version. Same as like SAP, we have how the versions are there in an SAP. We have the NetWeaver 7.5, ECC, EHP 8, and EHP 1, 2, 3, 4. So like that, we have the EHPs are there. And also we have NetWeaver 7.0, 7.1, 2, 3, 4, 7.5 are there up to now. And also, so same as like everything, we have the versions. Even in HANA also, we have the version HANA 2.0. And before that, we have so HANA 1.0 also we have. So 1.02, 2.0, the version, so they have so migrated. So what is there in the 1.0 and 2.0 also, we will discuss it about. But we have the 2.0 current version we have. So then after same time, we have the RAM size. So we need to scale the RAM size. So a few companies, they have the architects. So they will provide the estimation RAM size, how much is required for the your business. Same as like estimation RAM size, they will provide you. Estimation RAM size, they will provide you. So same as like otherwise, we can use the method like pick sizer tool, right? Pick sizer tool. Pick sizer tool, we can use it. That is the benchmark tool, or we can use the T-shirt sizing method. Okay, T-shirt sizing method. That is what we discussed. Small, large, something like that. So okay, so that is the RAM size. Coming to the CPUs. So CPUs, there is a calculation. So one CPU will handle the 14 to 15 GB of RAM memory. 15 GB of RAM memory. So based on that, how much RAM you got it, so that much of RAM by 14 or 15 or 16, you can take it out, divided by 14. Then how many CPUs you will get, that many CPUs you required. The next one is the file systems, that is called the storage. file systems. File system. How many file systems you required? So storage. Okay, how many file systems you required? Here we need at least minimum 5 types of file systems are required. 5 types of file systems. So one is the root. Root is the very important for the Linux. So suppose like if I ask you for Windows, what are the file systems you required? Normally we will say C drive and D drive, right? C drive or D drive. We will say C drive and D drive. Like that, we will tell you C drive this much of space and D drive this much of space and E drive this much of space we require. Like that, we will tell you, right? So same as like in the Linux. In the Linux, why? Because we are using the Linux operating systems. In the Linux operating systems, there are no drives concept. There are no drives concept. There is a file systems concept. File systems concept. So folders, directories concept. So the only one main file system here, you have only one file system. So only one file system that is available here. That is called the major root file system. That is the major one. Then after that, we have /usr SAP file system is required. Separately, these mount points are required. Then /HANA, so shared file system is required. Then /HANA /data is required. /HANA log is required. So these are the 5 types of file systems are required. 5 types of file systems, the scaling is required here. So what is the size? File systems and size. What is the size it's required? How much space we required? Root minimum 10 GB is required. So USR SAP 50 GB is required. So /HANA shared, /HANA shared, it's required 1 into RAM size or max 1 terabyte. The space is required here. So what about the data? 3 into RAM size, 3 into RAM size this required. So what about the log folder? It's like half by 2 means 0.5 into RAM size or max. So 512 GB, 512 GB space is required for the log drive. So these are the file systems for the HANA and their space recommendations. Okay, these are the file systems for HANA and their space recommendations we should be required. Suppose here 1 into RAM size. Suppose as part of the RAM calculation, you got the RAM size is max 1 terabyte. Suppose the example 1 terabyte, you got the RAM size. Then here how much you required for the /HANA shared? How much you required? So how much you required for the /HANA shared? So 1 into RAM size means 1 terabyte. 1 terabyte.
Yes, sir.
So 1 terabyte /HANA shared the file system is required here. Here 3 into RAM size means 3 terabyte. So here, so 1 terabyte half by 2 of RAM size, which means 512 GB or max 512 GB. The space is required in the Linux operating systems to install the HANA database. So that's why when we are planning to install the HANA in your organization to store your company data, organizational data, we have to plan the space, RAM size requirements, CPUs, operating system, all these things we have to carefully plan it. We have to plan it. We have to plan the sizing. That's why we are more discussing on the hardware requirements only. Why? Because so these are the very important. When you go for any interview as well, so they will mainly concentration on the hardware requirements only. Can you tell me the how many file systems we required for that to install the HANA data? We have to tell these file systems. So can you tell me the size of the each file systems? Root, USR SAP, /HANA shared, /HANA data, /HANA log. So this many file systems we required to install the /HANA data and log. Apart from that, normal file systems /temp, okay, /home, so /var, So then slash swap. Normal OS level file systems we required. Normal operating system level file systems it's required. Why? Because those are the operating system level. By default, it will come just for ensure. So I have written once again. I have mentioned here. Why? Because those are the operating system level file systems. So normally I have mentioned once again. So let me show you. So let me show you here. So putty we required. Putty is the tool we can log in with the putty and any one of the user. So we have the user. We can use our users to log in. Okay. So here we need to use the commands. Commands we have to use it. See here. So root. So root file systems. Then slash temp file systems. Then USR SAP HANA is also there. Slash where. So these are the home. These are the mandatory file systems. These are the mandatory. It will come as part of the OS installation. So this also required. These are the Linux file systems we required. Apart from that, we required the so these file systems mandatory for the HANA database. These are the file systems mandatory for the HANA database and their respective size also you required. Okay, you got it. So apart from that, we required the network. How much network latency? How much network? So network as per SAP recommendations. So 1 gig per 7, 1 Gbps, 1 Gbps. So which means 1 gigabyte per second. This much of network speed is required for HANA. Why? Because we are expecting the speed means so that much of requirement, that much of resources we have to provide to the HANA to get that much of speed. So that's why SAP recommending that much of speed, that much of network. So we have to provide it. So 1 Gbps or 100 gigs per second, something like that. We have to provide it. So network latency that I need to review it, but it's a 1 Gbps, I guess, or 100 gigabytes per second, the network latency. So that's not a problem, but these are the mandatory file systems we should be set in our Linux box, or we have to request our Linux administrator to adjust these file systems and the respective sizes. We have to request for them. Okay, these are the Linux related file systems and HANA related file systems. And also we have the CPUs. How many CPUs we required? This one is CPUs. So we just inform to our Linux administrator. We have to inform to our Linux administrator to link these file systems to our farm. Why? Because OS installations and CPUs and file systems, their file system creation and space adding. So all these mount points will be taken care by the Linux operating system, Linux administrator, right? So that we have to inform. But if you want to inform, but you should know some information about the how many file systems, CPUs, RAM, OS. This one you should know, right? That's why we are discussing about the hardware requirements. So HANA hardware requirements. Now let's talk about the software requirements. So any questions on the hardware requirements here? Why? Because it's a very important. First step is the very important here. So why? Because so here we have these file systems. Definitely they may ask you during the interviews, they may ask you this file system. So it's a very important file systems. Any questions from anyone? And also what are the supported hardware platforms? So now we discussed about the, suppose in the hardware requirements only, there is a one more field. What are the supported hardware platform? So hardware means which hardware, in the which hardware? OS we know, RAM we know, systems file system. What is the hardware we required? So we required either Intel. So SAP recommended to have Intel based hardware platform or IBM power machines. IBM power machines. Most of the people will use the IBM power machines. They will use it. So for the HANA they will use it. IBM power machines they will use it. So these are the these are the requirements. These are the requirements, hardware requirements for the SAP HANA. So same time, what about the software requirements? Softwares. What are the softwares we required? So to install the HANA database, we required the SAP HANA DB and SAP HANA client and SAP HANA add-ons. Add-ons, if you have any add-ons or if you have any SAP HANA plugins, so we required. These are the mandatory is so HANA DB and HANA client are mandatory. These add-ons are optional. Optional means you know, right, that word. So if it is the requirement is there, your business, you can install it. But if there is no requirement, then you no need to install it, these things. But mandatory HANA DB, SAP HANA DB and SAP HANA client we required. These are the mandatory softwares. We have to download it. We have to keep it ready for in our Linux operating system to install it, to keep it ready for in our Linux operating systems to install it, right? These are the HANA software requirements and hardware requirements. So HANA is combination of the software and hardware innovations, which means so HANA is not only downloading the software, simply installing. So HANA we have to install on, we have to cross check when we are doing the install hardwares, we have to cross check, and softwares also we need to take care while doing the installation. Okay, so HANA is combination of the hardware and software innovations. Okay, so and also as I discussed yesterday, there is a compression technique, linear search method, partitioning. So data will be compressed, right? So and also we can do the partitions of the tables. So there are many advantages are there to get that much of speed. These all are the advantages. If I talk about the HANA advantages, so you have a lot of advantages. Suppose when you are buying the one phone in your Amazon or Flipkart, you will see that the phone specifications, right? Advantage compared to the other phone. What is the advantage? So same as like you can compare it and you can see it here. Okay, so these are the softwares and hardware. Okay, directly we are going to the point. We are not discussing any additional points and unnecessary points. Just to, these are the points are very useful points. That's why I am discussing about the hardware requirements and software requirements. Okay, so after this we are discussing about the HANA versions of the HANA. Okay, HANA version, it's a very important point. So HANA versions of the HANA versions. Okay, so if no doubts, then we can discuss about the next point, that is called the HANA versions. HANA basically, any questions from anyone? Let me ask one more time. Okay, thank you. So here we have HANA. So first of all, they have released the HANA 1.0, the version they have released in the starting. So they have released the HANA 1.0 in the starting phase. They have released the HANA 1.0. In HANA 1.0, they have released it in starting. In after that, after few years in the HANA, so on the 1.0. So in 1.0, maybe that is called in 2010, I guess. Yeah, 2010, their initial release, they have released in the, initial release, they have released it. So that is the operating system. They dedicated to release in the operating system 2010, I guess. 10, yeah, I guess. Yeah, but the HANA, they have written in the language is a C++ language. The codes which is available in the HANA database, That is the C++ language they have written in that HANA database. Okay, it's a HANA is the so in memory database management system, column oriented, one of the relational database management system. Okay, in 2008, that is the initial release, they have released it. So initially it is available in the English language. Now also it is available in the English language. Okay, so it's a commercial software. Commercial means it's not the free of software, you know, right? You have to purchase the software license from the SAP. Okay, the SAP wire means it's a SAP released product, SAP developed, SAP released product. SAP is not only SAP, they have released not only SAP application, right? We have the ERP application, NetWeaver application, CRM, SRM modules. They are not only that applications. SAP released in their database itself. They have released the this is a SAP related database, not the other Oracle SQL Server database. It's a SAP related database. SAP released this product. Who released this project means SAP. When it was released, initial release means 2010. They have released it. Okay, so initially it is available in the, now it is available in the English language. English language it is available. What is the language of the code? It is written in the HANA language means C++ code it's written. Okay, that is the small small information which is useful. Someone ask you a friends, so you have to explain these things, right? That's why I explained this one. So initially in 1.0, HANA 1.0, they have released it. In HANA 1.0, so in the first time they have released the 0.1, HANA 1.0 SPS 0.0, then after that 0.1, then after that they have moved to the 0.2, then after that they have released the 0.3. SPS release, then not like that, HANA 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, not like that. So the main release they are released, then after that support packages they are releasing it. So they have released the SPS 0.1. In this 0.1, they have some issues. They have some new features they want to develop. That time they won't release the, they won't change this one. They will release the new support packs. They will release it by fixing the previous version issues, bugs and everything, new enhancement. They will release this one. At the same time, they will also release the SPS 0.3. So when they release the new SPs, whenever we have any issues in the existing support pack stack versions or new enhancement version, they will release the new SPS released. Like that, they have released up to 0.5, then to 0.12, they have released it. So 0.5, 0.6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, up to 12, they have released it, the versions. 12 months, 12, they have released it. Okay, not like monthly ones, yearly ones, they will release it, all these versions and everything. So all these versions they have released it. Okay, so up to SPS 12 they have released it. After that, they have not released the SPS 13. Then they have changed their mindset and they have put the version is called the HANA 2.0. Simply, if you want to remember, you can remember like, so Robo 1.0. Okay, Robo 2.0, something like that, you can remember it. Okay, the Robo 1.0 time, we got the 1.0 HANA 1.0. So that time we have the HANA SPS 0.1, 0.2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 11, 12, like that. We have the versions, they have released it. All these versions are gone now. So no one is there in these versions, except a few customers are in the SPS 12. Few customers, they are in the SPS 12. They are also planning to migrate to the HANA 2.0. How to do that one? That is also we will discuss in our classes. Okay, so few customers there in the SPS 12. So SAP is not supporting all these versions. All these patches are not available in the download. They are not available. Still, they are not available to download in our marketplace. Here, there is not available. Okay, so but SPS 12 is available to release it. So it's available. So still few customers are in this one, they have to migrate to the HANA 1.0 and 2.0. Why, sir? They have named it as the HANA 1.0 and 2.0. Why they have named it? So that difference I will explain it. Don't worry. Okay. So why they have released it? What is mean by 1.0 and 2.0? So and 2.0, what are the versions we have? Recently, in a week back, 1 week back, we have HANA HANA 2.0 SPS 07 is released. That's why I am discussing about the SPS 07 as well. In a week back. So in the last week itself, maybe in Easter or one day before of the Good Friday, they have released the SPS 07. They have released it. So then 06, 05 we have. Then previously we have HANA 2.0, 04 like that. So we have HANA, maybe I can type it like here, like that, 03. So then 02, then SPS 01. So like that, we have the versions available. When they released the HANA 2.0, SPS 01 is available. Then it has some issues. Then they have moved to the 2. You know, right? Why they released the new SPS means existing version in your mobile phone as well, or in your laptop versions as well, in a mobile phone, Windows versions, anything. So they will not keep same bugs in the same version. They will release the new version. In that new version, they will fix all these issues. They will fix it out, right? So that's why they will fix all these issues in the new versions. So that's why they will release the new version. They will release it. So suppose like Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, Windows 11, like that they have released it. Why they have released the new versions means the previous 10 version, they have some bugs, they fixed it, and also they want to new enhancements, new features they want to add it. So they cannot keep it in the existing version. They will release it in the new version. They will keep it the new version. They will release it. They will release the new versions. That is the thing of concept of the SAP HANA. Okay. So that is the SAP HANA. So 1.0 versions and 2.0 versions. Okay, you got it. This is the latest one, which is released on last week, If you want to see, so you can go to the here, just SAP HANA 2.0 SPS 07, like that. If you type it, so which is available, in the last week itself, it is available. So what's the latest version of the SPS? So you can see we are pleased to announce SPN. So they have released it. The latest versions in the HANA 2.0. So latest version. You Google it, definitely you will get the things and everything. Okay, you definitely will get the things. So HANA latest release information. HANA 2.0. So see here in April 2023. Okay, you got it right. The last week itself they have released it, but they mentioned the last week itself they have mentioned this one. So before the Good Friday, I got off Thursday, I guess. Thursday or Wednesday, sorry, not Thursday. Yeah, Thursday, 5th or 6th, they have released it before going to the Good Friday holiday. So they have released this 6th one. So they have released the HANA SPS 07. But this is the version they have released it. Okay, so 7 they have released it. Before that, we have the 6th version, 5th, 4th, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so they have released these many versions we have. Why? Because we are discussing about the HANA, so we should know some history of the HANA versions as well. Okay, HANA versions as well. So now, so if you note down, then I will remove this one. Then I will tell you the difference between HANA 1.0. It's a very important HANA 1.0 and HANA 2.0 versions. This is a very important concept, the difference between HANA 1.0 and HANA 2.0. Okay, so HANA 1.0. So I will tell you the simple difference. Before that, 1.0 and 2.0, Robo 1.0, Robo 2.0. As all we know, we watched the movie as well. We know there are some differences between 1.0 and 2.0. In 1.0, we have only one robo. In 2.0, we have the two robots and mini robots, city robo. There is a concept they have increased. That is we have. And also, we all know the difference between the building concept. The building concept means what are the advantages, disadvantages between apartment and independent house, right? We know about the independent houses and apartment. We already know, right? So we know already these differences. Just keep in mind those differences: apartment, independent house, and Robo 1.0 and 2.0. Same way, we'll discuss in our HANA 1.0, 2.0 also the difference. We will discuss it about this one. Okay. So what is the difference between HANA 1.0 and 2.0? So HANA 1.0, HANA 1.0, HANA 1.0 is the single day. 1.1 means single only, right? It's a single database. So HANA 1.0 is the single database container. We will call it as the single database container. So we will split the page into two types. So one is the HANA 1.0, the second one is the 2.0. Okay, 1.0 and 2.0. It's a single container. HANA database is the single container. In one host, this is the host. Host means operating system. Host. In the Linux language, we will call it as the host. In Windows language, we will call it as the system or server. We will call it as the system or server. In one host, if you install the database, it is only one database will be installed. One HANA database will be installed. That is common, right? In one operating system, one host, if you install the HANA, it will install only one HANA database. We will call it as the HDB, HANA database. We will call it as the one HANA database will be installed. We will call it as the, in the shortcut, HDB. So, okay. So, if you install one host, if you install the one HANA database, it will install only one HANA database, not like that other, right? If you install one HANA database, it won't install the multiple multiple HANA databases. It won't install in 1.0. That is the concept of the HANA 1.0. That's why one means one database. So that's why simply in the database language, we will call it as the single container. HANA 1.0 is the single container. Okay, single container. At the same time, single container means, so suppose if I take up the building concept. So when you build the in 150 square hats, if you build the one independent house, only one house, then it's not the apartment. One house, if you build the one house, then so only one family can stay there, right? One family can stay only in that independent house, right? Only in that family, they can use the CPU, RAM, memory. RAM means memory only, and also the space, network. Only that family can use it, right? So which means, so in that home, they only that family only can use the same bore, same water, same power, everything. Only one family they can use it, right? That is the concept of the one independent house concept. So they have the privacy, more privacy, and also only one family can stay in the one independent house. So that is the privacy of the HANA 1.0 independent house concept. So that is the thing. But single container, that is fine. Here HANA 2.0. In HANA 2.0, what is this 2.0 concept here? So when you install the HANA database, so here you will get the by default two databases, you will get it out. So what is it, sir? Why we are getting the two databases? That's why HANA 2.0. This is called the multi-container. Multi-container. It's not the single container. It's a multi-container database. It's a multi-container database. We are getting it. Multi-container database we are getting. Multi-container means multiple databases you will get. But by default, you will get the two databases. One database name is called the system database. Second database is name is called the tenant database. Tenant DB. We will get it out the tenant DB. So here you will get only standalone database in HANA 1.0. But in HANA 2.0, you will get the one system DB and one tenant DB, you will get it out. It's like, that's why I chosen like it's an apartment concept. When you build the apartment, when you are building the 150 square yard, you are not building the independent house, you are building the apartment means, so you first floor and second floor. If it is the first floor only, that is the independent house, right? So on top of that one, you are building the second floor as well, then third floor as well, fourth floor as well, fifth floor as well. You can build it up to the limit, the permission. You can build that many floors, you can build it, right? That is the concept of the, so that is the concept of the, so apartment concept, right? That is the concept. In future, if you want to build the one more database, you can, there is a requirement to create the one more database on top of the tenant DB. You can create the one more database. So you can create the one more database, you can create it. You can create the one more database also, you can create it. Up to 19 databases we can build it on 19 DBs on one host, you can build it. But here only one single mono database, single container, only one database we can build it. But here multi-container, multiple databases in one host. That's why we will call it as the multi-container. It's a single container, multi-container. This is the differences. Okay, this is the 19 databases, 19 DBs. So 19 DBs, we can build it on the one database. So except system DB, 19 databases we can create it. Okay, so 19 accept default one, accept default one. So accept default, we will create the one system DB, tenant DB. Accept this one, next to 19 databases we can build it. Total 20 databases with the default one, 20 default databases we can build it. System DB is not the database. System DB is the different one, but this is also called the one of the database. But actual data stores into the tenant database only. Okay, so tenant database only. So that difference also I will explain it. But first of all, we will discuss about the 1.0 and 2.0. So 1.0 is the single container, 2.0 is the multi-container, which means multiple database we can install on one host. We can install the multiple database containers, we can install it. Suppose today, so you builded the one house, that is the apartment you are planning. So for ground floor, first floor you have builded by default, that is called the apartment. Definitely, if any apartment person, initially they will build the G+1. Then after that, so any has money, then you can build the 2 + 2 + 3 + 4 first square, like that you can build it, right? Up to 19 we can build it as per our HANA policy. 19 database we can create it. So right, accept the default one, default system DB and tenant DB. So this is the concept of the HANA 2.0 concept. Here, what are the advantages are here? Here means same operating, multiple database are using the same operating systems, same file systems, same CPU, same memory, all are using. These are the resources, right? Resources, CPU, memory, file systems, and network, all are the resources. We are using it. So one HANA license cost, sorry, one operating system license, one operating system, you are installing multiple databases, you are installing. This all will use the same resources, same license, it will use it. But here, so you have one database, you have the one operating system. If you want to create one more database, then you need one more operating system, one more operating system, one more operating system, right? Multiple operating systems, multiple licenses, then multiple CPUs, multiple RAMs, multiple file systems, multiple things you required. But if you install the HANA 2.0 in 150 square yards, if you build the apartment in the same space, so all families, like in the first floor, ground floor, second floor, third floor families, they will use the same space, they are using it, same water they are using it, same electricity they are using it, same water they are using it, same water which are coming from the bore, so they are using it. So right, Same space they are using it, which is means they are saving a lot of space here, right? That is called the apartment concept, right? So that's why, but here there is a disadvantage here. All databases, all resources are using the same memory, same operating system. Suppose if operating system is got crashed, all databases will be restarted. Here one is restarted, only that specific database will be restarted, but here all will be restarted. But here we can save the cost, customer cost, we can save it here. Why? Because cost means for operating system he has to purchase the, he has to pay the amount, memory he has to pay the amount, file systems he has to pay the amount, space, and network he has to pay the amount, right? Then for maintenance he has to pay the amount. So all he has to pay the amount. There's a lot of cost. But here in a 1.0, 2.0, if you pay one operating systems, one memory, one thing, multiple databases you can install on the one host, right? So customer always think like, some customers always think like the cost perspective, how they have to minimize the cost perspective they will. So for that customer, this is the best solutions. HANA 2.0 is the best solutions. Why? Because multiple databases we can install on the one host, we can install it. This is one of the major difference between HANA 1.0 and 2.0. Any questions from anyone here? Did you understand? That's why I told you, right? You need to just think Robo 1.0 and 2.0, single apartment, sorry, single independent house and apartment concept. So that way you will get more ideas, more clarifications, more on the understanding of the concept, right? Now you got it, right? And now 1.0 and 2.0 differences.
Sure. In 2.0, all DBs are interdependent or dependent,
All
or not dependent?
All are interdependency means?
Like if we send a query, it will come to database and it will
So
give
dependence.
the output, right?
Yeah.
So
Suppose if you want to access the only data from this tenant database, you can only access from this database. If you want to access from this database, you can access from the tenant 2, then tenant 3, so tenant 4, tenant 5. So all are separate databases. If you want to separate databases, separate database in the scale, separate databases. So separate data, all are the separate databases. So this database, separate data will be stored. This is a separate data. This is depends upon the usage which you are using, separate databases. So this is also separate database. All are separate, not the interdependency. It's a independent database. All are the independent databases. But all independent databases, I can put this way, all independent families, not the dependent families, all the independent families which are staying in the each database. So they are on top of the system database only, means ground floor only. They want to go, then first it will come to system DB is ground floor, then they will go to the stairs, right? Same as like, that's why system DB is in the ground floor. It's independent. Answer to your question, it's the independent, not the dependence.
okay. Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, let me explain. So here HANA means what? SAP means what? When you install the SAP, there the 7 resources are there, right? Work process 7 HANA SAP work process, right? 7, right? You forgot, I guess, already. Dialogue.
Yes.
You got the 7 work process. Same as like,
Yes,
combination of the 7 is called the SAP, right? We will call it as the SAP. Why? Because most of the work is doing by this 7 work process only. Most of all the work will be doing by this work process only, right? Each work process. SAP means combination of this work process and instances. But database means, database also, when you install the database, you will get the 7 resources, 7 HANA processes. we will call it as the SAP, we will call it as the work process, right? Here HANA, we will call it as the HANA process, right? HANA process. The first process is called the, so daemon, okay? The name server, it's very important, daemon, name server, okay? Index server, pre-processor, so compile server, compile server, compile server. So, okay, so web dispatcher and access engine, access engine. These are the 7 core process will be created during the installation. During the installation, these 7 will be created. These 7 process will be created. In SAP, how we have dialog, update, enqueue, background, message server. So gateway spool are there. Same as like in HANA also, these are the process will be so installed. This process will be do the work, their respective work, right? So these are the process. When you install the HANA database here in 1.0, this 7 will be created. So, right? So when you install the one more database, one more plus 7 plus 7, 14 services will be created. HANA process will be, normally people will name it as the HANA services, HANA process, like that they will name it. So don't confuse. So the way which he is asking the question, if he asking about the HANA services, HANA process, all are same. These are all the services are HANA process, HANA core process. Okay, process. PROCESSOS process. Okay, HANA services, SRI. Okay, services, SRSCRVISES. Sorry. So HANA services. Okay, HANA services, HANA process, we will call it as. So what about the 2.0, sir? So in the 2.0, so 5 process in the system DB. Remaining 2 are in the tenant 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 DB. What remaining 2? Index server plus access engine are in the tenant DB. Index server, access engine are in the tenant DB. So remaining all are in the remaining means web dispatcher in the system DB, compile server in the system DB, preprocessor in the system DB. So name server in the system DB. So daemon in the system DB. But index server, so index server and so this access engine, this both all are in the so in the tenant databases. All are in the tenant database. All are located in the tenant databases. So each tenant you will get the 2 process, right? Names, one is the index server, access engine. So system DB dedicatedly we have the 5 process. In this way, here we are saving the process as well, right? So you are saving the process. So one process is running in your operating system means definitely that process required that much of memory and CPU. How the humans are. So normally one thing I will tell you out of the topic. Okay. So for us, for humans, what we require to live, to run in the daily life, what we require to run our daily life, what we require. General thing I'm asking you guys. We require the food and water, right? Is it correct? It's a very important, food and water. Say yes or no.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, I will tell.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I will only answer it. Okay, sorry. Okay, so for our daily life, we need food and water to live. We are the process. We are in the earth. We are the one of the process. We are the one of the service in earth, right? We require the food and water to run our daily life, to work. Majorly, we will got the to work our duties, to start our duties or to finish our duties. So we need food and water. Without food and water, maybe maximum you stay 1 day. After that, what will happen? You will go in the sick mode. Then in the next day, I'm not sure what will happen. Okay, so that is will happen the humans, right? Same time, you can also compare all this HANA process, HANA service also humans in their life, in their earth. What is their earth? System, server. Operating system is there for their earth. In their earth, so the food and water. For us, we have the food and water, we can buy, we can purchase, we can do. But for them, the food and water is CPU and memory. Memory is the food, CPU is the water for them, right? So if they, so each process, how the CPU and memory we are consuming in the world, in the earth, how we are consuming, same in the server also. In the server, it will, each process, it will consume the memory, each process will consume the memory, some amount of memory. So some amount of memory, some amount of CPUs it will consume it. Same as like for us, we're also some amount of food we are taking, some quantity of food we are taking, right? So daily needs we are taking some quantity of food and water we are taking. Same as like for their life, the food and water is important. If they don't have enough CPU, enough memory, what will happen? Definitely the process will go to the 6 status, or the process will be stopped status. Same as like for us as well. Same as like in the server as well. So you can compare for their earth. Their earth means their earth is operating system. In their operating system, so operating system is OS, Linux OS. So the CPU and memory is very important. That's why initially we discussed about hardware requirements. We have to carefully, we have to plan it. So same as like in our daily life also, we are planning. For year, we are carefully, we will plan this food and water, we will carefully, we will plan it, right? It's a very daily needs. So for them also, it's a daily need is, so food and water. So if you supply enough food to them, definitely they will work it without any issues. Definitely they can store our data and everything. They can do their daily duties. For us also we will do. If you have enough food and enough memory and CPU, then we can also survey in our daily life, right? Here also same as like here is the service also you can live it. Now you can understand better way, right? So that's why carefully we planned the CPU, memory, space, everything we planned it here. So same as like here also. So in HANA, when you install the HANA, by default, 7 core process will be created. So in 1.0, the 7 will be created. If you install the one more database, then one more 7 will be created. But HANA 2.0, when you install the HANA 2.0, systemdb has 5 process, tenantdb has 2 process. Each tenant you will get the 2 process. Remaining 5 process systemdb is available. So commonly common services are available in the systemdb. Same as like when you install the SAP application server, you will get the 2 instances. One is the ASCS instance, second one is the application server instance. In the application server, we have the 5 process, dialog, update, so batch process, right? So these are the 5 processes available. Message server and NQ is available in the ASCS instance. Same as like ASCS instance, we have the 2 process. Each ASCS instance you have 2 process. In the application server, we have this one. Here the reverse wise. systemdb having the 5 process, and each application server, each database, they are having the 2 services. One is the index server and the second one is the access engine is available. Each tenant, they have the 2 services. So systemdb having the remaining 5 services systemdb is having. So this is the difference between the HANA 1.0 and 2.0. This is the difference between the systemdb and tenantdb. So we have the one more differences are there, but tomorrow I will explain what is the difference between the systemdb and tenantdb. That difference is completed in the first 10 to 15 minutes. Then we can start downloading the softwares. Then we will discuss about the some Linux commands that are very useful for your daily life. So daily practicing, that's a very important to discuss. Then after that, HANA installations, then HANA upgrades, then HANA administration part. So like that, it will go this way. Okay. So I'm stopping here. Discussed many theoretical topics here today. So I'm stopping here. Tomorrow we'll continue the rest of the topics. Okay.